Taylor here with you, and I am so excited to share with you today. We are in week 2 of our chapter by chapter into looking at the book of Philippians. So Paul's letter to the church of Philippi continues in chapter 2 with talking about how because of Jesus, we are called to be united together. As we read these verses today, listen and hear these words and think of maybe something that might stick out to you. I always like to look for maybe the particular encouragement or challenge that these verses might be saying to me. So let's open up our Bibles to Philippians chapter 2 and read together verses 1 through 4. I'm reading from the Common English Translation. Therefore, if there is any encouragement in Christ, any comfort in love, any sharing in the Spirit, any sympathy, complete my joy by thinking the same way, having the same love, being united, and agreeing with each other. Don't do anything for selfish purposes, but with humility think of others as better than yourselves. Instead of each person watching out for their own good, watch out for what is better for others. So what sticks out to you here? To me, I hear a call to unity and principles that are meant to be applied to my life. In verses 1 and 2, I think Paul is saying that if you have experienced encouragement or comfort or love, that we are to share that same love and encouragement with others. To be united and agree with one another because of love. That if these things really exist, then it makes more sense to work together. Paul isn't talking about unity like we all need to be the same, but unity in the basic principles of caring and serving one another. You guys, unity is not looking or talking the same. We were created different and unique, and that's a good thing. It would be really boring if I looked around and saw millions of people that looked exactly the same as me. Unity is also not having all the same opinions. We can still love and encourage people that think differently than us or have a different view. And unity is not never having conflicts or disagreements with each other. Life will throw us conflict and we will have arguments or disagreements with people in our world. But what I think Paul is saying is that we're called to be united, to look past those things that make us different and move toward remembering the basic principle of love. It is love and understanding that will defeat any conflict. And then we look at verses 3 and 4. Yikes, these are challenging and difficult. Paul was telling the people to not be selfish, to be humble and think of others more than yourself, to watch out for what's better in others. Paul is trying to get across that this isn't what being a follower of Jesus is. It's not about just you, it's about others. It's that golden rule thing, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. We've all heard that one, right? To put other people truly first, that's tough and a big ask, and easier said than done. So why is it so hard to put others first? Well, I'll offer 3 of my own thoughts. First, fear. I think we get scared or nervous because we need to make sure we're okay. If my needs are met, then I can help people. But that's not what Paul is saying. He is saying, don't think about yourself and what makes you feel the most comfortable. The second reason I think that it's hard to put others first is comfort. Doing things for others sometimes puts us out of our comfort zone. It's putting our normal ways of doing things in the background and stepping out to do whatever it takes to serve someone else. That makes most of us uncomfortable sometimes. And the third way I think it's hard to put others first is time. Time is something that we often think that we just don't have enough of. We don't have the time to help somebody else if we can barely get the stuff done that we're supposed to get done. We often make excuses because we just don't have the time, or because the time it would take to serve someone else before ourselves isn't worth the payoff. But Paul is trying to tell us that serving and humbling ourselves and doing things for others is the way that we love like Jesus. So let's read now verses 12 and 13 together. Therefore, my loved ones, just as you always obey me, not just when I am present, but now even more while I am away, carry out your own salvation with fear and trembling. God is the one who enables you both to want and to actually live out his good purposes. These couple verses are often misunderstood. When Paul was saying to carry out or work out our salvation with fear and trembling, it doesn't mean that we should be nervous or worried all the time about our faith in Jesus Christ. The Greek word for fear is translated to equally mean to have reverence or respect. And the Greek verb to carry out means to continually work to bring something to completion. So all in all, I believe Paul is telling us to be active, to pursue obedience in our pursuit of following and serving and loving God. That is how we live out his good purposes. We are called to love others like Jesus. So how might this chapter connect with us today? In my life and relationships, I often have had this question come across my heart. Am I looking to be served or to serve? As I reflect on when I'm filled with the most joy and am so humbled, I am serving others. So mission trips are my favorite thing. And on mission trips, you have to lay aside yourself, your fear, the everyday comforts, and have time to do whatever is asked of you for somebody else. Many of you are pretty young to remember, but Hurricane Katrina came crashing the Gulf Coast back in August of 2005. Over 1,800 people died, and the damage and loss was devastating. Our church sent a team down to Bay St. Louis, Mississippi, and for some reason, I signed up. I had no idea what I was getting into. Once our team arrived, we settled into a church that had no electricity. So that meant no power, no bathrooms to use or showers, no air for my air mattress. The city was destroyed. We were asked to muck out people's homes. This meant that we went into what was left of a person's home that had been completely flooded and had to shovel out sometimes 5 or 6 feet of mud in their basement that had settled from the flood. It was dirty work. And did I mention that there was no power, that I couldn't take a shower? Okay, so really our showers were a bucket and some bottled water. I can't really explain to you how uncomfortable I was, but I was called to serve and put others before myself. I wasn't trying to get glory or attention for going on that trip. Honestly, I would have been much more comfortable at home. I was definitely humbled. But what was more evident than anything, my biggest takeaway from that trip, was the unity that I witnessed and experienced. Everyone worked together because they understood what loving and serving Jesus and others look like. So bottom line, because of Jesus, we are called to be united together. When we experience encouragement from others or have shared pain or comforted one another, we are to serve and to work together to make this world better. We are to love like Jesus and continually carry out with utmost respect and awe the desire to live out his purposes. So as we wrap up chapter 2, I challenge you to continue to read. Read the entire chapter 2 of Philippians this week. It won't take you long. There are so many principles to apply. And I would challenge you to ask yourself the question, am I looking to be served or to serve? How can you put others first and be united together and show love like Jesus?
1, 2, 3, 4. Light a fire in my soul, let it burn, 'cause I was born. I'm so tired of the same. Be your name, let me wait. Your love debates nothing. Separate me from great grace. I will love.
watching. If you like what we're up to, make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Have a great week and see you next time.